Hello everyone, I am Loganathan from Loga QA Automation channel. Welcome back to the next video in our Python for Testers series. And in this video, we are going to cover all the important string methods available in Python, which we will be using in our test automation. Okay, so here's the list, and I will go one by one and I'll explain how to use these methods, string methods in our program. Okay, let me straight away jump into PyCharm and I'll create a new package, Python package, and I'll name it as string methods. Okay, and then I'll create a first Python file. All right, we'll start. So the first one is upper. Let's assume we have a string. Okay, say a is equal to my name is Loganathan. Okay, that is my string. Now I want to convert this string completely into uppercase. Okay, then what I can use the method upper. So remember guys, string is immutable in Python. If you do, say for example, a dot upper, and then if you print a, then you will still get the same string. Though you have performed a method on the string a, you will still see the same string getting printed. That is the original string getting printed, right? So you have to store it in another variable, and that variable will have to be used. Now you see that my name is Loganathan, it is completely in uppercase, right? So this is the first one. Nice, and then I'll use a print and I'll use a dash with 15 so that I'll see a separator in the logs also. So we covered upper. So what is the next one in our list? It is lower. So simply I'll replace upper with lower, and you will see that all characters in this string will be converted to lower. So here my name is Loganathan, all characters are converted into lower. Nice. And then swap case. So swap So I already explained you, whenever there is a method and inside the method if you see an argument as just self, then that will be taken care, that argument will be taken care by Python. You don't need to pass anything, right? So let me go with swap case. So as you see, what it does, it takes every character of the string. So here it takes every character of the string and then it changes its case. So first character was capital M, and then it is converted into lowercase m. The next character is lowercase y, which is converted into uppercase y. So that is what this swap case does. Okay, and then let's see what is capitalize. And let's run this. Okay, so since let me put it in this way. Say the string that you have starts with a lowercase letter. Okay, let me put some capital letters also here just to show you the difference. Say you have a string which consists of lowercase and uppercase letter, and then the first character of your string is a lowercase. Then when you use capitalize, what it does is it capitalizes the first letter like this, and then all other letters in the string will be converted to lowercase. So let me run this again. See, only the first letter of the string, line number 19, is converted into capital letter and all others are converted. Even if you see my name, I start with capital L, and here in the word is, the S is in capital letter, and then the word name, the M is in capital letter. All these are converted into lowercase. So what we understand from this, capitalize will only capitalize the first letter of the string, all other it will convert it to lowercase letter. So that is what this capitalize that does. Okay, one more point I would just want to add, in case if there are any say numeric values inside the string, so those won't be considered at all, so that will just print as it is. Okay, so if you start this with a numeric character, then that's it. So the first letter is 8, and then it cannot get converted to capital, so it will print as it is. You see, so just to avoid the confusion, I'll remove it and I'll run it one more time. All right, so that is what the capitalize does. Let's go to the next one. Next is title. So let me go with a better better string. Today is Saturday and waiting for a good movie in OTT. Okay, so let's see how this converts when we use title. Let me run this. As you see, every word, the first letter of every word gets converted into capital letter, rest is changed to lowercase. So here I did not use any capital letter inside the word. So here let's see. So here Saturday is just a word, but what I've done is I've added capital letters in the word, right? So let's run this. So today is Saturday and waiting for a good movie in OTT. So this format in which it is printing now, we'll call them as camel casing, because always when the first letter is capital and other letters are small letters, we'll call them as camel casing, because it resembles like a camel, right? So it has that zigzag format. So first is up and then the other letters are low. First is up and then other letters are in lowercase. So that's why we call this as camel case. Okay, all right. So next we'll move islower. So far whatever we've seen is it will just change them, but now we are going to get whether the string that we have given has all letters in lowercase or not. That is the first one. Okay, is lower, but for sure it is not. So first I'll print it. It says false. The reason is even one letter in the entire string is uppercase, then this will return false. So that's why you're seeing false. I'll add one more positive case. I'll put everything in lowercase. Okay, now when I print this, you'll see that it is true. You see it? The reason why it is printing true, because all the characters inside the string A is in lowercase letters. So that's why it is printing. Maybe to avoid confusion, I'll put apple, banana. Nice. Okay, good. So let us go with next one. The opposite of this is upper. So let's use is upper, and then again here we'll use is upper. Then let it have it. I'll convert this to apple, banana. Okay, so here this will return false. The reason, when it is looking for the entire string to be uppercase, even one character is in lowercase, this will return false. But on the second example, everything is in uppercase, that's why we'll get true. You see, for the first one we are getting false, and then second one we are getting true. So that is all about is uppercase. What next is title. So title we have already seen. If we use the camel casing, then that will be title. So I'll use that camel casing thing here. So the first one will be false, and then second thing will be true. Is title. Okay, let's run this. So again false and then true. Hope this is clear. I'll explain it. Is title, what is it checking? Whether the given string is in the camel casing format or not. What is camel casing? First letter of every word should be capital and all others should be in lowercase. That's why this is getting true. But here there are words which starts with capital. For example, today T is capital, Saturday S is capital, but there are other words which starts with lowercase. In that case it will print false. That's why this is printing false and then true. Okay, next is interesting, is alpha. Say today is 6th day. Okay, so what I'm doing, so here this entire string has only alphabets, but in the second example, the entire string, it has one numeric value in the string. Let's see what it does. Okay, for both the cases it is printing false. Why is it printing false? Let me save this and run it one more time. Is this alpha? According to me, this contains all alphabetical one. Let's see what the function says. Sorry, the method says. Return true if the string is an alphabetic string. False otherwise. A string is alphabetic if characters in the string are alphabetic and there is at least one character in the string. That is what we are doing. So this is all character. Let me put this as Saturday again. And let me check this. Got it. Yeah. So there are spaces. So spaces will not be considered as alphabets. They are considered as special characters, right? So today is Saturday. Let's see. Cool. So this is true and this is false because space is considered as a special character and this doesn't allow the special characters. That's why it is getting failed. Now I'm a little curious to see what happens when I say today 22 and I run this, whether it will print false. Yes, it is printing false because though there is no special character here, no spaces, number 2 is not considered as alphabet, due to which it says this is not an alphabetical string. It has numerics also in it. That's why it is returning true. But in this case, all are alphabets. There is no space, so it is not a special character. So it is taking it as an alphabet. Okay. Next, we have is alphabet and then numeric. So it is a kind of an R, right? So from the name itself, we can get is isnum. Okay, so you would have guessed it by now. This isalnum will return false for this, because okay, no, not false, because this is alphabet or number, correct? So either one is true, then it will return true. So in both the cases this is going to return true, see, in both the cases. But only thing is, if there is a space, today is Saturday, I'll be getting the false. The first one is throwing false. The reason is there is a space. Space will not be considered as alphabet, or it will not be considered as numeric. Cool. So that's about isnnum. And then let's see isnumeric. So it is very straightforward. From the way we read it, we can understand this is numeric, and I'll use the same here, and here I'll pass only the numerics here. Say I can add few numbers here, but what is it defying? This string has alphabets also, then it will not work, right? So the first one should be false, second one should be true. See, false, and then this is true. Cool. We have covered isnumeric, and then we'll see starts with. For this, I'll say I am going to learn Python, and then I'm going to use starts with, and I can say I, and here I'll be using the same, but instead of I, I'll give different one, say am. I'm giving. Let's print this. So first one says true, and then second one says false, because it is, this string doesn't start with a word am, that's why it is giving false. What if I give I space and am? Still it is true, because it takes the entire string and then checks if the actual string starts with this particular string or not. So this time also it is working. Good. What if I use capital am? It becomes false. So what you need to understand, the starts with is a case sensitive method. You cannot say, though it starts with I cannot pass a lowercase I and expect a true, right? It is still false. So what I need to do, I have to put capital I in the name, am, then it says true. So that is the use of starts with, and then next we'll see the ends with. So this one ends with Python, so I'll use it, and here I'll say JavaScript. So I'll get true here, and then I'll get false for the next one. See, true and then false. Again, should I just give only the last word? Even few characters of the last word I can use HON, still it is true. Or I can just use one character of the last word, still it is true. Or I can use last couple of words of the string, still it is true. So any variations you can use to see if a string ends with another string or another character. Okay, so that's how you can use this. If that is not the case, you will be getting false. That's what starts with and ends with. What if you want to know if a string has a particular word, for example going, you want to see if going is present in this string or not? How can you do it? It's easy, but there is no straightforward method for it. What you need to do is, you need to use in. So when you use in, say I want to check going, in A. Okay, so now let's see what it is doing. First of all, this is true, and I'll use the same here. Instead of going, I'll use coming, so it comes as false. Okay, so since the word going is there in this string A, it's printing as true. Let me add one more word, one more character to it. You see that it is already false. I have to, or I can say going to, couple of words, it is still finding it. Say here I'm going to use going. Instead of saying to, I'll say going into, and it says false. Though the word going is there, but the following word is not there, it is throwing the error. Okay, that is about how to identify if a particular string is present inside a string or not. So in other programming languages, we'll have either contains or includes. Okay, in JavaScript we have includes, and then in Java we have contains. So there are methods available to do the same work, but here we have to use this in operator. This is an operator we are using, and we are taking two arguments for this operator, and then we are not arguments, operands, right? So two operands in our statement, and we are deriving whether it is there or not. Okay, so that's about how to use in operator to get if an element or if a word is present in a string or not. Okay, next is find. Say let's use a dot find, and then I'm going to say am. Okay, so here I'm going to say find test. So let's see. So when a particular word is there in a string, then it returns the index of the word where it starts. So I starts at 0, and then the space will get the index 1, and then the am or the letter A gets the index 2. So that's why it prints 2 here. But in this case test is nowhere found, so it is saying -1. So in case if you don't want to use in method to see if a word is present in a particular string or not, what you can do is you can use find, but only thing is you have to see if the b is greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0. Because say for example, if I use I, it's going to return the index as 0, right? Because I is there at the 0th index. So it doesn't mean that I is not existing in this string. I is existing, but at the 0th index. So what you need to do, you can, if whenever you get a value which is greater than or equal to 0, you can assume, or you can say that the string has this word. If it is less than 0, which means minus values. If it is returning minus values, it means that word is not there in the list, in this string. I'm sorry guys, I'm just swapping list and string, bear with me. Okay, so that's about find. So find takes few more arguments also. Let me see if I can give you. I am going to learn Python and I need Python material. Okay, here I see Python twice, so let me put Python to find, and when I run it, it gives 20. So let us calculate 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then I'll simplify this. Instead of going too long, apple, banana, A, B, B, C, B, B. Okay, now I'm going to look for the word BBB. So what is the index of BBB here? The first occurrence 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be printing 4, right? It is printing 4. And then I want to pass the next, so string and then start position or start supports index and then end index. So let me start with the start index. So this is B, right? So B plus 1, because B it returns 4 and I don't want to do the search one more time from 4. I want to do the search from 5th index, because 4th index we already know it is there. So next index is what it has to start its search. So that's why I'm giving B plus 1. Let me run this. So first time it is finding it at the 4th index, second time it is finding it at the 12th index, this BBBB. Okay, so you can pass the start index also from where the search has to happen. Okay, you remember if we have created a program to print all the instances or all the indexes at which a particular string is present or at which a particular value is present in a list in our last class. Same way we can write a program here also if we have more than one. Let me show you that. Say A is equal to I am in, okay, I just want to repeat a word multiple times. I will, I would, I should, I must. Okay, say this is a sample sentence or sample string. Now you need to find the index of I, all indexes of I. So what I need to do, I need to write a for loop. So for that for loop I'll start with I in A. So A itself is a collection, so I don't need to use another collection. And then what I say is print, I'll say A dot find, what do I need to look for? I said capital I, right? This is what I'm going to look for. But I'll have to start from the index 0. So let me say star index here. And this index I'll initiate with 0. Nice. But once the index is found, what I need to do, I need to increase the index. So index is equal to index plus 1. Okay. Let me write a count of I, because I don't want to it's an interesting challenge. Now I need to know how many times this I is present in this string. Alright, let me first iterate through the complete string and see what it prints, and accordingly we'll change our program. Okay, print let me run this. So 0, 10, 22, 35 and then minus 1. 0, 10, 22, 35, minus 1. Okay, the reason why it is going multiple times is we are iterating through every character. So that's why it keeps going. So what I'll do is I'll add if index is equal to minus 1, then break. Okay, let me see. This has to be here. This has to be here. Nice. So 0, 10, 22, 35. So it identifies the index of I in this string wherever it is present. The moment it ends its search, then it will be returning minus 1. When it returns minus 1, it breaks the loop and comes out. Just because I've used for loop, this is getting in this way. So what I can do is while I'll say that it is true. Now our program will run perfect. See, instead of using for, let's simply use this while loop. So this while will iterate until this break comes into picture. When will this break will come into picture? The moment the capital I is not present anymore in the string A, this while loop will run and it will print it. Okay, all right. So this minus 1 is coming because of this, because A is I am going to learn Python and we are trying to find the word test in it and the test is not existing. That's why this is returning false. Okay, and let's go to the next one in our methods. This is nothing but strip. So this is very interesting. Say I have spaces and then I have my name. And then like this I have. If I want to cut down the spaces before and after a particular word, what do I need to do? I just need to do strip. So in other programming languages, you would have heard the same method in another terminology, right? It is trim. They would be calling it as trim, but here the method we use is strip to do the same functionality. Okay, let's see. So now this prints Nathan. Next we have left. So here it is we don't need to give only the word, right? So say Loganathan is here. Even then it's going to strip the spaces at the beginning and at the end, not the spaces in between the string. Okay, so it just cuts the spaces which are coming before the string and after the string, not the spaces within the string. So that you need to remember, strip. Okay, all right. So what is the next method we have? Next method is lstrip. lstrip. So lstrip is going to remove the spaces here, that is the left side of the string, but this will just leave this spaces as it is. So let me run it. And how can I know the right side of the spaces are not taken out? So here if you try to copy it, you see that there is no space selected after the here, but when you try to copy this, you see that there is a space after here. So because here we see the space. This I can do in another way. So print b comma, I'll say end, and I'll say that I'll put a star. Okay, if I do this and run this, end is equal to. So Loganathan is here, and then there is a space, and after which these stars are printed. But here, when I print, you can see that okay. So Loganathan is here, and then it puts a star next to here, but here on the next line you get the two stars after a space. It means this left strip only cuts the space before the string, that is left side of the string. And very similarly we have right strip, rstrip. Now let me run this, and you already see that the left spaces are there, that's why it is slightly alignment is changed. But after here there is no space, that's why you see the double star. So you understand rstrip is nothing but it's going to take out the space after the string, that is the right side of the string. Cool. Strip, lstrip, rstrip we have covered. Next is replace. So there may be a question, right? So in case if I don't want these spaces to exist, what should I do? So that's where there is no straightforward method. It's a kind of a workaround, I would say, right? So replace, and if you don't pass any argument for replace, it considers the argument as spaces. So let me print B now. A dot replace, type error, takes at least two positional arguments, only 0 is given. Okay, let me see. Okay. What is happening here? Replace literal string, comma, new string. Okay, let me give this. Old is a space and the new is a without space. Okay. Got it. So replace we can use like this. So we have to say take out all the spaces with no spaces. So this is what should be replaced, what should be replaced with, right? So the value to be replaced and value in place of replacement, what should be there. So this is the syntax of replace. So here all the spaces are removed and put in here. Okay, good. So replace is seen, and then we'll see split, what split is going to do. For that, let me take a simple string, say A is equal to my name is Loganathan. Say B is equal to A dot split, print B. Okay, here when I use split, I am not specifying any delimiter. I just give double brackets. So there is open bracket and close bracket. So it assumes that it has to split this string based on the delimiter space, and then wherever it finds the space, it breaks the string and then puts it in a list. Every element it puts it in a list. That's why here you are seeing a square bracket. And when it is putting it in a list, these spaces are gone, right? These spaces are no more there in the list. So that you need to understand. For example, I can use the split in another way. just to make you understand. Say here, instead of space, I'm using a delimiter hash. Okay, so instead of split empty, I put the delimiter as hash. Let's run this. You still see that my name is Loganathan, but the actual string had these delimiters, right? The hashes. But the moment I use the split and put this character as a delimiter, in the final outcome, the hash is gone because it just takes that delimiter away from the string and it is separating using the delimiter and storing it in the list. A split need not to be always at the right place. Okay, so for example, if I have a, or I'll put it as a L or LOG. Okay, so LOG is my name, and let's see how it splits. So this string, right, my name is hash, will be in one index, that is in the 0th index, and then ANATHAN, anything that comes after the delimiter will be in another index, that is the second index. Let's see. Maybe it's a lowercase, that's why. Yeah, cool. As I mentioned, there was a split based on the delimiter that I have passed, LOG. So it breaks the entire sentence before this log and after the log. So since this log is there only one time, it is coming in this way, Loganathan and then log testing. Okay, now this log is seen as a delimiter, log is seen as a delimiter, so it will have three values, this, then this, and then testing. Hope split is clear for you. And then I'll use join. It is just an opposite of split. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'll put, instead of passing it as a string, I'll first explain this. Say L O G A. I have used a list with 4 elements, and every element has a character, and it forms my name Loga. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a join. How am I going to join? First I'll have to pass the delimiter which I'm going to use, then I'm going to say join, and then I'll say A. So let's print this B. So you see that it takes the delimiter and puts it in between the elements of every elements of this list and joins it and creates a string. The output is a string. So that's why the join works. And A need not to be list always, it can also be a string. So let me use this. Instead of the list, if I use my name here, Loga, see what is going to happen. You see the same output, because for Python, string is also a collection, and then it stores A of 0 as L, A of 1 as O, A of 2 as G, A of 3 as A. So when we use this join method, what it does, it takes the collection and then puts the underscore in between every element of the collection, and it joins and it gives us a string. So that's why you're seeing this. If I don't want to have anything, then it is a same string. Okay, so that is the difference between split and join. So now if I want a space, I can put it like this. Cool. And finally, format. We have already seen this, but I'll cover a few variations of it. Nice. Say we have a string like this, a name is equal to Loganathan, Loga, and then course is equal to Python. Okay, now I want to create a string where I say str1 is equal to Loga is learning Python. So this is the string. But next time, if this changes, say instead of Loga, next time it changes to say Ravi, okay, or Amit, whatever name. So this course Python changes to JavaScript. Then how can I update the string dynamically? Is it possible? We already saw that possibility in one of our classes. What we can do is string1 is equal to, we use f, and then we use the curly braces and then say name is learning curly braces course. Right, so this is one way of using the format. This f stands for format, so I didn't print it. Okay, print str1. Nice. Okay, so this one is a hard-coded one, this one is a dynamic string. And there is one more way to use this format function. Let me show you that. Now what I do, str1 is equal to, I put a double quotes, is learning Python, I say, and then dot format. Okay, I'll pass this name and course, and let me run this. Oh, sorry. So even this time, these two curly braces, empty curly braces, are replaced by the arguments that I'm sending to the format function. So here I'm using format as a method, and instead of function I should say method. So here I'm using format as a method and I'm passing it. Should I always put it in a variable and send? No, not required. Here you can directly say this. Instead of name, I can give something in a single quote. Say for example, Ravi. Course, I can say JavaScript. Okay, now I'll run this. So Ravi is learning JavaScript. Why is it doing so? Because it knows it has to replace the placeholders in respective order. The first argument will be used for first placeholder. The second argument will be used for second placeholder. If I pass more variables, more values, what is it going to do? More. It is going to silently ignore it. It is not going to throw any error. Or if I have more learning this and this, but I have only, okay, first I'll see when I'm adding 3, it should take all 3 and print here more also. But if I'm removing it, okay, and then when I run it, it is going to give us an error. If we have 3 placeholders, then it is our responsibility to pass 3 parameters or arguments. But if we have only 2 placeholders and if we pass more than 2 arguments, it's not going to give us any error. The last argument that we are going to send will be ignored. That we have already seen, correct? So here when I put it, this is the case I was talking about. 2 placeholders but 3 arguments. What will happen? Nothing will happen. It just ignores the last argument. Cool. This is about using placeholder. Now I'll tell you how to use variables. So here I can say name, and then here I can say course. Then I have to use this name and course here in the format, but not in the same order. Okay, we don't need to put it in the same order. That is the beauty. Course is equal to JavaScript. I'll put it as JS, comma, name is equal to Amit, and I'm printing string1. Let me run this. So Amit is learning JS. Though I pass Amit as a second argument here, but I am assigning it to variable name, and this name is what used in my dynamic string, so it takes the exact one. So we have three methods in which we can use this formatting. One, using the word f at the beginning, and then using the variable names inside the curly braces. This is one way. The second way is placeholders. We can simply put empty curly braces open and close, and then in the format we'll have to provide them in order. What will happen if I just put JavaScript first and Ravi next? It will say that JavaScript is learning Ravi. It will become little messy. So that is when we will go for these type of formatting. What we do, we put the placeholders with variable name and we pass the variables in our format. And when we are passing the variables, we don't need to follow any order. It can go in any order. So it can go in any order, but the variable name will have to be exactly matching what you have used in your string. In these three ways, you can format the string in a dynamic way, but I would prefer the first way. It is neat, simple, and straightforward. Okay. All right, guys. So with this, we have covered so many methods of strings. Okay, and I'm not saying that I've covered all the methods available in Python. I'm saying that we have covered all the important methods available in Python which we require for creating test automation frameworks or doing test automation. When we are doing test automation, if we need to do some string manipulation, these methods are enough, very much enough. With this, you can do any type of string manipulation and get the results you want. So keep practicing it. Okay, when you practice it, if you get any questions, don't forget to come and post it in the comments. I'll take a look at them and I'll answer them as quick as possible. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing. Bye.